Be me, 28 years old, working as a junior architect in a mid-sized city. Earn a decent salary, live in a small but tidy apartment, and go to the gym 3 times a week. I am generally a quiet guy, conflict-averse, the type who holds doors open and pays the bill without asking. Have a best friend named Alina, known her since college, about 7 years now. Alina is 27, works in digital marketing, is very sharp, very vocal, and very intense. She identifies strongly as a feminist, not the casual kind, but the kind who writes long essays on social media about power dynamics and emotional labor. To be clear, I respect her intelligence. She is funny, charismatic, and when she is in a good mood, she is the life of the party. But for the last 3 years, our dynamic has been specific. I am the emotional anchor. She dates projects or bad boys or guys she meets at art gallery openings who treat her poorly. Then she comes to me. She cries on my couch, drinks my wine, and dissects their behavior using academic terminology. I listen, I nod, and I tell her she deserves better. Secretly, I have been in love with her for years. It is a classic orbiter situation, I know. But it felt deeper than that because she would drop breadcrumbs. She would say things like, "Liam, you are the only man who actually sees me as a human being." Or, "Why can't these guys be more like you?" Or, "One day when we are both 30 and tired of this mess, we are just going to marry each other, right?" I held onto those sentences like life rafts. I assumed she was just working through a phase. I assumed she had to get the toxic guys out of her system before she settled down with the good guy. That was my role, the waiting room, the safety net. I never made a move because I was terrified of ruining the friendship. And honestly, she made it clear that she valued my platonic intimacy above all else. She often praised me for not sexualizing our friendship. So I stayed in my lane, waiting for the day she would wake up and realize I was the one. Typical Tuesday night. Alina is at my apartment. She is pacing around my living room, ranting about a guy named Julian she met on a dating app. Julian is a freelance photographer who ghosted her after 3 dates. Alina is furious. "It is the entitlement, Liam," she says, gesturing wildly with a glass of red wine. "He consumed my emotional energy, took my time, and then vanished because he sensed I was too powerful for him." I sit on the sofa watching her. "He sounds like a jerk, Alina. You are better off without him." She stops and looks at me with big, watery eyes. "I am just so tired of performing for men. It is exhausting. I have to be the cool girl, the smart girl, the sexy girl. I just want to exist." She sits next to me and leans her head on my shoulder. My heart rate spikes immediately. "You don't have to perform with me," I say quietly. She sighs, a long, heavy sound. "I know. That is why I love you, Liam. You are safe. You are not like them." She stays there for an hour, scrolling on her phone while I watch a documentary. Eventually, she gets up, pats my cheek, and leaves. "Thanks for listening. You are the best feminist ally a girl could ask for." She leaves. I sit there alone in the quiet apartment. I feel drained. I feel like a therapist who does not get paid. But I convince myself it is worth it because I am investing in our future. Fast forward 2 months. It is a rainy Saturday. I am at a local bookstore looking for a gift for my sister. I am in the fiction section holding 2 different hardcovers trying to decide. A female voice speaks up next to me. "The one in your left hand is better, but the one in your right hand has a happier ending." I look over. She is about my age, wearing a yellow raincoat and glasses. Her name is Sophie. She has a warm smile, the kind that reaches her eyes immediately. We start talking. It is easy, shockingly easy. There is no heavy analysis of the subtext of the book covers. We just talk about stories we like, the weather, and how bad the coffee is at the shop next door. I ask her if she wants to get a better cup of coffee somewhere else. She says yes. We go to a small cafe down the street. We sit there for 3 hours. Sophie works as a landscape architect. She loves hiking, she has a golden retriever named Buster, and she makes terrible puns. I realize about an hour in that my chest does not feel tight. Usually with Alina, I am constantly monitoring my words to make sure I do not say something problematic or insensitive. With Sophie, I am just talking. I make a joke about how much I hate open concept offices. Sophie laughs loudly. Oh my God, yes, I need walls. I need to hide when I am eating a messy sandwich. I laugh too. It feels light. At the end of the date, and it definitely feels like a date, we exchange numbers. I had a really nice time, Liam, she says. Me too, Sophie. I walk home feeling strange. It is a feeling of relief. I check my phone. 3 texts from Alina. Julian liked my story. What does that mean? Do you think he is trying to hover? Liam, are you alive? For the first time in years, I do not reply immediately. I put my phone on the charger and go take a shower. I am humming a song. The next few weeks are a blur of new romance. Sophie and I go out for dinner. We go to the movies. We go for a long walk in the park with her dog. She is affectionate and straightforward. On the third date, she holds my hand while we are walking. No preamble, no discussion about the implications of touch. She just grabs my hand. It feels electric. Meanwhile, Alina is starting to notice my absence. I am still replying to her, but my responses are shorter. I am busy. Hey, can you come over and help me build this IKEA shelf? Alina texts on a Friday night. Usually I would cancel whatever I was doing to go help her. Can't tonight, I reply. I have plans. Plans with who, she asks. I have a date, I type. Silence for 10 minutes. Then she replies, oh, that is exciting. Who is she? Tell me everything. Her name is Sophie. She is cool. I will tell you later. Okay, have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I go out with Sophie. We end up back at her apartment. We kiss for the first time. It is passionate and real. I feel desired, not needed as a crutch, but desired as a man. It changes something in my brain chemistry. A week later, I introduce Sophie to my friends at a bar. Alina is there. I was nervous about this meeting. Alina arrives late, looking stunning but stressed. She walks in, scans the room, and sees me with my arm around Sophie. Her expression flickers for a microsecond. It looks like shock. But she masks it instantly with a bright, tight smile. Hi, you must be the mystery woman, Alina says, extending a hand to Sophie. I am Alina, Liam's better half. She laughs, but it is a sharp sound. Sophie smiles warmly. Hi, Alina. Liam talks about you all the time. It is nice to meet you. We all sit down. Alina dominates the conversation immediately. She starts talking about a protest she went to last weekend. She talks about the systemic failures of the local government. She uses a lot of jargon. Sophie listens politely, nodding. That sounds really intense, Sophie says. It is great that you are so passionate. Alina narrows her eyes slightly. It is not about passion, it is about responsibility. If you are not angry, you are not paying attention. Sophie takes a sip of her drink. I get that. I try to focus on making small changes in my community. Community gardens, local cleanups, keeps me sane. Alina smirks. That is cute, very localized, but it does not dismantle the structure. I feel the tension rising. Alina, I say, a warning in my voice. Let's keep it light tonight. She looks at me, feigning innocence. I am just making conversation, Liam. Why are you so defensive? Are you tone policing me? No, I am just saying we are here to have a beer, I say. Sophie puts a hand on my knee under the table. It is okay, Sophie says. Alina is right, structural change is important. She diffuses the situation with grace. Later that night, after everyone leaves, I walk Sophie to her car. I am sorry about Alina, I say. She can be a lot, Sophie shrugs. She is very smart, but she seems possessive. I pause. You think so? Yeah. She stared at my hand on your arm like she wanted to chop it off. Does she have feelings for you? No, I laugh. No way, we are just friends. She talks to me about her dates all the time. Sophie looks at me with a knowing expression. If you say so, just be careful, Liam. The next day, the barrage begins. Alina texts me a long paragraph. Hey, I wanted to talk about last night. I felt really weird vibes from your new friend. She seems nice, I guess. But very trad wife energy, very passive. I am worried she is going to stifle you. You need someone who challenges you intellectually. I stare at the phone. Sophie is not passive at all. She runs her own team at work, she hikes mountains, she volunteers, she just isn't loud about it. I like her, Alina, I reply. She makes me happy, she is not stifling me. I am just looking out for you, Alina replies. I don't want you to settle just because you are lonely. That stings. I am not settling, I type back, feeling a flash of anger. Okay, sorry, let's get coffee soon. I need to debrief. I meet Alina for coffee 2 days later. She looks tired. She barely asks about my job before launching into a critique of Sophie. I looked her up on social media, Alina admits. Alina, that is creepy, I say. It is public record. Anyway, she posts a lot of baking photos and dog photos. It is all very domestic. What is wrong with domestic? I ask. Nothing in a vacuum. But it reinforces gender stereotypes. Are you looking for a maid or a partner? I set my cup down hard. Stop it. Sophie is an architect. She is successful. She likes to bake. Why do you hate her? Alina looks taken aback by my tone. I don't hate her. I just think you and I have a certain level of consciousness that most people don't share. I am worried you are going to get bored. I am not bored, I say firmly. Actually, it is the most peace I have had in years. Alina flinches. Oh, so I am chaos, is that it? No, but our dynamic is heavy, Alina. You unload a lot on me. Sophie and I just live. Alina crosses her arms. I thought you liked our deep conversations. I thought you valued my mind. I do, but I also value being happy. We part ways awkwardly. Things escalate over the next month. Sophie and I get closer. We spend weekends away. I stop checking my phone constantly. Alina starts calling me at odd hours. It is 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Liam, I am having a panic attack. I need you. I am in bed with Sophie. I see the name on the screen. Sophie sees it too. You should answer if it is an emergency, Sophie says, though she looks concerned. I answer. Elena, what is wrong? I just saw my ex with a new girl. It triggered everything. I can't breathe. Can you come over? I close my eyes. Alina, I can't come over. I am sleeping. Take deep breaths. Call Jessica. Jessica doesn't understand me like you do. Please, Liam, I can't. I am with Sophie. There is a silence on the other end. It is cold and sharp. Oh, I see. You are prioritizing her over my mental health. It is 11 at night, Alina. We can talk tomorrow. I hang up. I feel guilty but also liberated. Sophie rubs my back. Is she okay? She will be fine. She hates that I am not available on demand anymore. That is not friendship, Sophie says softly. That is dependency. A week later, it is my birthday. Sophie plans a surprise dinner. She invites my friends, including Alina, because she knows Alina is important to me. The dinner is at a nice Italian restaurant. Everyone is having a good time. Alina arrives looking stunning in a red dress that is arguably too fancy for the venue. She sits directly across from me. She hands me a gift. Open it now, she commands playfully. I open it. It is a framed photo of the two of us from college, looking young and happy, with a handwritten letter on the back. To the man who knows my soul, she reads aloud before I can read it myself. The table goes quiet. It is incredibly intimate and inappropriate given that my girlfriend is sitting right next to me. Sophie keeps a smile on her face, but I can feel her stiffen. Thank you, Alina, I say, putting the photo face down on the table. That is a sweet memory. Alina leans forward. Do you remember that night? We stayed up until dawn talking about existentialism on the roof. You told me you would never let anyone change me. She is staring right at me, ignoring Sophie completely. I remember, I say briefly. Anyway, Sophie, pass the bread. Alina's face falls. She drinks too much wine as the night goes on. She starts making passive-aggressive comments. It is so nice to see Liam settling down, she announces to the table. He used to be such a romantic, always waiting for the great love. I guess eventually we all just compromise, right? The table goes silent again. My friend Mark looks at me like he is expecting me to do something. Sophie speaks up, her voice calm but firm. I don't think Liam is compromising, I think he is happy. Are you okay, Alina? You seem upset, Alina laughs, a harsh sound. Upset? No, I am just observing. As a sociologist, it is fascinating. The male need to domesticate, the female need to secure resources. It is all very primal. Okay, that is enough, I say. Alina, you are being rude. Alina stands up, swaying slightly. Rude? I am being honest. I am the only person who is ever honest with you, Liam. Everyone else just plays these polite social games. I thought we were above that. We are at a birthday dinner, I say, my voice rising. Sit down. No, I won't sit down, she shouts. People in the restaurant are looking. I can't believe you are letting this basic girl replace me, she points at Sophie. She doesn't know you, she doesn't know your trauma, she doesn't know how you worry about your mother. She just wants a boyfriend. Alina, stop, I say, standing up. I waited, Alina screams, tears suddenly streaming down her face. I assumed you would always be there. I thought we had a pact. We never had a pact, I say quietly. I was just your friend, and I wanted more for years and you knew it, but you kept me on the hook. I was protecting our bond, she sobs. I didn't want to ruin it with sex, I wanted it to be pure. You wanted me to be your backup plan, I say. The realization hits me fully as I say it. You wanted me to wait until you were done having fun with guys who treated you like trash. You wanted the emotional benefits of a boyfriend without the commitment. Alina looks shocked, like I just slapped her. That is not true, that is a misogynistic interpretation of my emotional needs. No, I say, it is the truth. And now that I am happy, you can't handle it because you lost your safety net. I love you, she yells. The restaurant is dead silent. Sophie looks down at her hands. I look at Alina and I feel pity. Not love, just pity. You don't love me, Alina. You love the attention I gave you. If you loved me, you would be happy for me. She stares at me, her mouth open. Then she grabs her purse and storms out of the restaurant. Silence hangs over the table. I am so sorry, I say to everyone, sitting back down. Sophie takes my hand. It is okay, she whispers. It needed to happen. The rest of the dinner is subdued but supportive. My friends tell me I did the right thing. Mark pats me on the back. You finally grew a spine, man, proud of you. Later that night, back at my apartment, Sophie and I are sitting on the couch. Are you okay? She asks. Yeah, I say. I feel light. Like a massive weight is gone. She was in love with you, you know, Sophie says. Maybe, I say, but it was a selfish kind of love. It was about what I did for her, not who I am. Sophie kisses me. Well, I love who you are. And I promise not to write essays about it. I will just tell you. I laugh. Deal. The aftermath. Alina blocks me on everything. I hear from mutual friends that she is spinning a narrative. Apparently, I am a toxic male who gaslit her for years and then abandoned her for a patriarchal trad wife fantasy. She writes a blog post about it. It goes semi-viral in her circle. The nice guy myth. How my best friend betrayed feminist solidarity for heteronormative comfort. I read it. It is full of big words and victimhood. She rewrites history to make herself the martyr. She claims I deceived her by pretending to be a friend while secretly preying on her. It hurts a little to read. But then I look at Sophie. She is in the kitchen, dancing to 80s music while making lasagna. Buster the dog is sleeping at her feet. I look at my phone, then at my life. I delete the link to Alina's blog. I realize that Alina lives in a world of theory, conflict, and power struggles. She is addicted to the drama of it. She needs to be the victim to feel important. I don't want to live there anymore. I want reality. I want peace. 6 months pass. Sophie and I move in together. It is the happiest time of my life. We decorate the apartment. We host game nights. We plan a trip to Japan. One day I run into Alina at a coffee shop. It is an inescapable small city. She looks different. She cut her hair short, dyed it blue. She looks tired. I am with Sophie holding hands. Alina sees us. She freezes. For a moment, I think she is going to make a scene, but she just looks at us. She looks at the way Sophie is looking at me. She looks at the ring on Sophie's finger because we got engaged 2 weeks ago. Alina's shoulders slump, the fire is gone, the feminist warrior persona cracks. She just looks like a lonely woman who made a mistake. Hi, Alina, I say politely. She blinks. Hi, Liam, her voice is small. Congratulations, she says, looking at Sophie's hand. Thank you, Sophie says, kind as always. Alina starts, then stops. I hope you are happy. I am, I say, I really am. She nods, tears welling up in her eyes. I miss you, she whispers. I know, I say gently, but we can't be friends, Alina, it doesn't work. She wipes her eye. I know, I thought I had more time. Time for what? To decide, she says. That's the thing about people, Alina, I say. We aren't options on a menu, you can't just put us on hold. She nods again, defeated. Goodbye, Liam, goodbye, Alina. She walks away, out into the rain. I watch her go. I feel a final closure. No anger, no resentment, just the realization that some people are lessons. Sophie squeezes my hand. Ready to go? Yeah, I say, turning to her. Let's go home. We walk out together. The rain feels nice. Life is simple. Life is good. Moral of the story, do not let someone treat you like a placeholder. Do not let ideology replace basic human decency. And when real, simple love comes along, grab it with both hands and don't look back. Because the person who assumes you will always be waiting might just find out that you have a life of your own. And by then, it will be too late for them. But it will be just the beginning for you.